I grew up on an island in the River Wandle. Culvers Island was the site of old cloth bleaching grounds, and there was a mill at one time. The land was owned by the Reynolds family, who gave their name to Reynolds Close, the street where I lived. Surrounded by water, my friends and I spent much of our lives in the river in those carefree days before people worried about diseases and drowning. Across the river from our house was Mullard's, the biggest factory on the whole river. I remember the crowds of workers pouring out of the factory gates on foot and bicycle every 5 o'clock. Few people had cars then, so the 151 bus, which turned round in our close, was a big part of my life as a boy. I took it to school on St Helier on my own from a very young age. I remember the fare was threepence, but we saved a penny each way by getting off the stop before, which gave us tuppence to spend on sweets at the Circle every day. Culvers Island was a good place to grow up then. Apart from the river, we had a choice of playgrounds. There was a big green outside our homes for football, and the Rec was behind Mullard's, where Culvers House School now is. And my dad had an allotment on the Miller's Orchard between that and the London Road. Dale Park was 5 minutes away in the other direction, and we also had our own illegal adventure playground, the overgrown woods surrounding what we called the Barracks, the old Hackbridge Park house, where Corbett Close flats were built after it was demolished in 1970. We used to squeeze through a hole in the railings to get in. The Culvers was a big house on the island. It was the home of a wealthy banker in Victorian times and was called the Spanish House by the grown-ups, as it housed refugees from the Spanish Civil War in the 30s. I watched it being demolished in 1960 when I was just 5 years old. Then they built the houses of Culvers Retreat in the gardens. These days, Reynolds Close looks a bit sad. The green has been carved up for car parking, and people have paved all over their front gardens. And all those nice wooden windows have been lost. But that's progress, I suppose.